everybody, and welcome back to the panel. We are so excited to be taping yet another session. I have some great people here tonight. You're going to hear some great information. For those of you that don't know, the panel is basically a community discussion about Black love. We are desperately trying to encourage positive relationships between people of color, especially between Black men and Black women. So my name's Lavon, I'm the host, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. I have some great panelists with us tonight, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And we're going to start right here with this gentleman.
How you doing? My name is Theo E.J. Wilson, columnist, activist, and I'm happy to contribute today.
How you guys doing? My name is Ndia. I'm singer, songwriter, and a mentor, and I'm so excited to be here with you.
Good evening. My name is Portia Prescott. I am a business entrepreneur and an actress and an artist, so I am also very happy to be here. Thank you, Lavon.
Hey everybody, this is your friend Charles Gilford III. Honored to be here. Just a friend of the community, man crazy enough to believe that the world can change.
We're going to dive in and we're going to start getting out some information. So I want you all to tell us your current relationship status, starting with Theo.
I'm in a relationship right now.
Okay. It's a miracle. Okay. Ndia?
I'm actually single right now.
All right.
I'm divorced and it's complicated.
I'm married to the love of my life.
Love it.
Okay, I'm currently single for the minute. Probably will change in the next 5. That's cool. So we're just going to keep going on. So today we're going to open up with a topic. So the way this works is I have ladies emailing me, inboxing me, talking to me about stuff that's going on with their men. And they just want to have information. They just want to learn, like, what should I do, or what does this mean, or what he does this, what is this about? So I just figure if we hear from the men, of course, adding the female perspective, I call our women the wow women because they are dope, they're women of worth. So I'm so glad you ladies are on this panel. You're going to hold down the female voice, right? You men are going to hold down the men perspective. All right, so the big thing going on right now in our generation, or with people I'm mostly with, are the portrayals of women and men on social media, on TV, on the shows. So right now the big shows are like Scandal and Empire and Power and whatever, all these shows, right? And I've had some girls inbox me and message me, and they're like, Lavon, like, is this what men want? Like, is this how we're supposed to act? Like, is these portrayals of these women on these shows, is this what they're looking for? Because I'm not that kind of woman.
Hey.
And I was like,
What are they seeing? What would you define the women on the TV that they're saying they need to be?
Some of the characters, like we have Olivia Pope, right? She's strong, she's always upset, always angry, always crying on the episodes. She could be in a relationship. When she's off a relationship, she doesn't want to be. And she just has this perception that she's so strong, she doesn't need anything or anybody. Then you got the girls on Power who are just mouthy and always in conflict. And you got like Atlanta Housewives, that kind of show where the girls are fighting, and just a very negative, in my opinion, a very negative perception of the Black woman. And then when you look at the men, how society portrays the men, they're either over-the-top masculine, gunslinging, gang banging, or just over-the-top masculine, just no sensitivity, running through hoes, running through pussy. I'm sorry, it's unedited, uncut, so I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And it has this, and it's like this perception that this, right?
So we can say it. Someone who's going to assault us, we need to be able to say the word, because I think my daughter should know the word, because if we're going to talk about relationships, we're talking about someone treating you with respect. And how do you attract that?
Yeah. And so exactly, this perception that the Black man is just so strong, mean, doesn't care, aloof, whatever. So my question, starting with the men, because I want to hear positive things tonight. What are some positive characteristics of the Black female that you enjoy?
Well, first of all, I don't know if it's spoken about in public a lot, but statistically, Black women are the highest educated population in America. And how many degree holders per 100,000 sisters are winning? And I think that it's important to understand that what you get from a woman is often what you bring out of her. A lot of times we don't realize that she's reflecting what we're giving. And so if you give her crap, she will give you crap. But if you give her the truth, if you give her love of light, even if she's aggressive in the beginning, even if she's hard-nosed and cold-shouldered in the beginning, after a while, that melts down because she sees, okay, I'm safe. So all these women can mean different things to all kinds of different people. What are you bringing to the table that's eliciting her response? And that's what you need to be responsible for.
I love what you're saying, but if we look at the speech that our First Lady just gave, we're talking about historical election where the First Lady is campaigning for the presidential nominee who is a female, and she is the person motivating us to vote for someone else. And we're talking, she's an African-American female, and her husband said, I love it that she's smarter than me. How many women can attract, who can be that bold, to be that vibrant, to be that intellectual, be that smart, to be that who she is, and then not be intimidated that that's gonna attract a guy?
You know, if I can tag in, I would say to your question, it's easier to attract, it's harder to find a lion than it is a hyena. And so oftentimes what we're dealing with is an immaturity that exists within both sides of the gender. When it comes to men, it comes down to them being bold enough to say, this is who I am, this is what I represent, this is what I stand for. On the other hand, my belief is that women should have standards that are low enough for a man to reach them, because none of us are perfect, but high enough that a boy can't touch them. And so the problem becomes when you're constantly in conflict between trying to understand that the scarcity of a man talking to you has nothing to do with your value. It has everything to do with the fact that his character is too cheap to afford you. And so the difference that I see, however, and the problem that I see that's pervasive is women are so used to raggedy men that when a lion walks in and he's got more of a roar, she's so used to a cackling hyena that she can't understand when a man has entered the room.
No, I know when a man's entered the room.
And that's
I saw you when you entered the room.
And
Real, recognize it's real.
I appreciate that, and I recognized a lioness when she walked into the room. But the reality is, for our relationships as Black people, the thing that I've experienced personally is, as a man who loves the Bible, loves the Lord, I don't go out to clubs. I'm not turning up because I'm trying to run a city eventually. The reality is the demographic and what's attractive to women in one phase of their life is something that becomes a predominant descriptor of what they chase for the rest of their life. What's cool in college ain't gonna keep you when you're married. So what happens is the curse of death, which is called the friend zone, or you're a brother. And so what happens is you friend zone your potential husband messing with a dude who you have to chase. You only have to chase a dog, but you can call a man.
Wait, say that again. You said you only have to chase a dog that you can call a man?
No, you only have to chase a dog, but you can call a man. My wife can call me right now, and I'll respond. A dog, come here, and you have to fight for attention. Any woman who has to fight for attention is somebody who at the end of the day needs to recognize that that man does not see who you are, and stop feeding him treats and allow a real man to step to you.
Come back to me. I love it. Thank you, guys. All right. So just to kind of bring it down, I love the answers. I love it. I hear it. But I still want to hear actual attributes that you men love from Black women, because I want these beautiful Black women to hear the things that Black men are thinking is beautiful about them.
No, that's a really good thing. There's nothing like a sister, period. And what's most attractive to me in a woman is the ability to be seeking her highest potential, to not settle, to not be content with the way things are. Because when she's walking her path, she's going to find who she needs. When she's on her journey, then naturally, just by law of attraction, the gentleman that she needs is going to show up. And so many times, they're taking off course, seeking gentlemen that are lesser than. They're taking off course seeking guys who are not up to their standards that the Most High sees that they're worthy of. You see what I'm saying? And that's because loneliness is hard. You know what I'm saying? The physical desire, let's keep it all the way real, is a difficult thing to deal with. But I understand that, and by the way, you're talking to a recovering player right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed of that. I had to walk the path that I had to walk to get where I am right now. Like, I still got expansion. I got a book coming out. I got 38,000 followers. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But that's taught me. And I think that what I love about sisters is their perseverance. Somebody was holding us down when we were swinging from them trees. Somebody was holding us down when Dr. King was getting shot, when brothers was locked in jail. Somebody's raising these babies. And I hate the fact that brothers are so quick to blame sisters for the shortcomings and don't acknowledge who's there when they're not. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very important thing that we acknowledge his sister's perseverance, her strength, and the fact that, I mean, good black don't crack. Y'all age like fine wine, and I'm like, if Michelle Obama is not proof enough, 52 years old, and I'm like, I shouldn't feel this way about my first lady. But also what she does and brings to the table is, I would say, a reflection of what Barack has possibly brought out of her, what he has elicited from her, because she dated some loser before she dated that cat. And if you look at young Barack Obama, he was complete friend zone candidate, wasn't he? And then he became the leader of the free world, so she had the eye and he had the power to bring out the best in her, and I love that about sisters.
All right, go to Charles, and we'll get you ladies in 1 minute.
You know, for me, when it comes to a black woman, I have a different story in that my mom is from Kuwait, so she's Indian, you know, don't worry, beta, which is interesting. It makes it fun. But my dad is African American and black. And so for me, when I look at a black woman, I look at a woman who is strong. I look at a woman who is educated. I see a level of strength and virtue, and more than anything else, loyalty. When black women, y'all are ride or die. Y'all, man. And there's like marrying an African American woman. Oh, y'all, straight up. But marrying an African American woman, she understands when I come home some days and there's a tear running down my eye, and she understands what that tear means in a different way. And so there's a context that she's able to wrap her arms around me in a different way. She's able to encourage me and say, go ahead, black man. I'm one of few African Americans inside of a department in HR in a Fortune 34 company, and she understands some of the pressure that comes with that. She understands the weight that I have to deal with, the intensity, the fear sometimes that I feel having an officer pull me over. See, there's a whole different perspective that black women bring, and there's a treasure in their heart because there's a strength and a virtue and a power and something that can't be destroyed, can't be blocked, can't be hung, and can't be destroyed. And women are just so amazing. To see what they do in our communities is absolutely phenomenal.
So ladies, I want you guys to close us out.
I want to say something on a different level. Coming from a perspective of you guys are wonderful, I love y'all, but from another perspective, from someone who has been married, has been divorced, who's looking for who married very, very young, a little too young. I want to also say to some of my sisters out there is that this is a struggle. This is a real struggle, because you talked about a statistic that we are very highly educated and we are very successful at a certain point in time. So that puts us at a certain gene pool where we don't necessarily have to have the same expectations that he has to meet me equally when we meet. We have to look at a brother at who he is, what he needs, how we can help, how we can support each other in different areas, because sometimes you may meet a brother, at a certain level in your life that your W-2 might be a little bit higher than his. Right. Okay? It just might be a little bit higher at the time. So you have to look at the character of the brother and not necessarily, well, does he have a master's? Does he have this? Well, if he doesn't have this, or if you have to really look at how can I support him as he supports me, because we are still women. We need love, we need attention, we need affection, we need lots of understanding and a lot of cuddling. So I don't want to say cuddling but we need that support too. Just because you go off, and speaking as a woman entrepreneur, having my own company, I'm saying that you need to also have someone who can, I can make dinner and he can make dinner, but at the same time, I'm still willing to make dinner. I'm still willing to get home early, and I know his little snacks that he likes, but I just have a lot of, I say that because I have some super successful girlfriends in major cities, in like Chicago and like New York, who are powerhouses, who are diamonds, who are all of the above. But how do you achieve a certain level of success, but your main success is having that partner next to you to enjoy it with? So, that's something we need to think about when we talk about our brothers and we talk about our faith and we talk about, our education, but at the same time, we support each other if we're meeting at a different point in life. We're not meeting at 20-something in college. We're meeting when we're all a little more seasoned. Well, some of us are a little more seasoned than others. So you need to be able to say, I don't care. I'm gonna support this man. I'm gonna have time for this man. I'm gonna make time for this man, and not my company or my employees.
And I think the main problem of people in their 20s, of this specific age group that I'm currently in, is that there's just a lack of maturity on both parts. And I think society has taught black men so long that it's not okay to be vulnerable. You need to. It's like they dub their masculinity. If you look at other cultures, like men are affectionate with each other, they hug each other, but like a lot of black men nowadays, like it's like they're afraid to show
be vulnerable.
And it's okay. And I run into that so much, and it's okay. Like they have a wall up, and it may be a part of the maturity because like I'm dating a lot of 20-something-year-olds, but like I just wanted to speak on that. And another thing is like, another problem that we have with this age group is that nobody wants to have a title, but they want to, reap the benefits of relationships, but not have a title. And I don't know if it's because I live in
Friends with
Atlanta.
benefits?
Yeah, and there's so many guys to every girl in Atlanta, and they just get all
That's a
these.
national issue.
Yeah, they just have. Right.
Well, when we close out, I just want to also just definitely talk about, these are two amazing brothers on this panel. But what we're talking about at the same time is redefining our own version of love. We recreate it. We're not going back to the King Arthur and Guinevere version of love. This is 2016. This is what works for you, and this is what works for you and your partner. And because sometimes we come with blended families from different areas, and so we have to redefine, especially in our culture, what that looks like, and not be afraid to redefine that.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Lots of good information. I heard a lot of good stuff. I hear some positive attributes about black females. There's some other topics that we'll have to cover in other panels, but I thank you for bringing it up. And so I just want to thank you guys for being on the panel. We are out of time, unfortunately, but thank you all for being here. Give yourself a round of applause, and we will see y'all next time.